The Canterbury Earthquake Commemoration Day Bill is set down for second reading forthwith. The Honourable Kate Wilkinson.
Mr Speaker, I move that the Canterbury Earthquake Commemoration Day Bill be now read a second time. Mr Speaker, as we have said, this bill provides for the 18th of March 2011 to be a day of commemoration in those parts of Canterbury that observe Christchurch Show Day as Canterbury Anniversary Day, in order to commemorate the devastating consequences of the Canterbury earthquake on the 22nd of February 2011 at 12:51, a day and a time, Mr Speaker, that I think will be indelibly etched on all our minds for many, many years and decades to come. This day, Mr Speaker, will be treated as a public holiday, with schools required to close under the Education Act. There is no restriction on shop trading. Businesses will be able to continue trading on the day if they choose to. The significance of having a public day on Friday the 18th of March is to provide them with an opportunity to attend the memorial service for the victims of the February 22nd earthquake. There have been a couple of concerns that have been raised, or issues that have been raised in some of the first reading speeches, and can I, as a Cantabrian, thank all members of the House for the compassion and for the feeling and for the concern for Canterbury and Christchurch, both which is my hometown, and as many will know, I am a pretty proud Cantabrian. A couple of those issues, it was considered whether it should be a national public holiday or a regional public holiday, and it was considered more appropriate that it be a provincial holiday. It is an important day of mourning for Canterbury and is very personal for the region. That is not, however, to diminish its national importance, and indeed, Mr Speaker, I think also its international importance. Economically, it's also important that the rest of the country can continue working, as this in itself will assist Canterbury and the Canterbury rebuild. It is certainly hoped that many throughout the country outside Canterbury will at least be able to watch the service from afar, so that they, in their own places, in their own way, can mourn, they can pay tribute, they can contemplate what has happened, the utter tragedy of what happened, and to build strength, and with that strength to help Cantabrians and New Zealanders for the long road ahead for the rebuild and the recovery. Can I also acknowledge one of the previous speakers who referred to the timing? Why are we holding a provincial holiday on the 18th of March? And I'm not sure, Mr Speaker, that there is ever a right time for such a commemoration. For some, undeniably it will be too soon. For some, maybe too late. For some, it is about right. But we hope that it is appropriate for Cantabrians to join together on that day, to know that they're not alone and that we are there shoulder to shoulder with them as a province and as a nation and as a parliament to help them down the long road of recovery and rebuild. It will be a chance to reflect on the terrible loss of life suffered as a result of the earthquake and the massive impact it has had on our second largest city. I think it is also an opportunity to give thanks for the civil defence services, and I mean the volunteers, the community, the friends, the family, the professionals. All were out there working with one thought in mind, and that was for the welfare of Cantabrians and Christchurch people, or visitors who had been so unfortunately caught up in such a tragic event. And I think that we can have some pride in the resilience of our communities when we have our professionals, when we have our police, when we have our nurses, our doctors, the civil defence professionals, the search and rescue, the volunteers, all out there with no thought at all to their own homes, which were also shattered in many cases and in tatters. So, Mr Speaker, this is an opportunity for the people of Canterbury to mourn together. We do consider that providing a one-off public holiday for the people of Northern and Central Canterbury to allow them this opportunity to attend a memorial service is an appropriate response in these truly difficult times, and I commend this bill to the House.
The question is that the motion be agreed to. The Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr Speaker, I indicate